a North Korean gymnast who defected to the south last year by using his acrobatic skills to cross the border fence, is thought to have fled back home by recrossing the same border. South Korea's military said the man broke through the border fence unnoticed around 6:40 p.m. on Saturday before crossing into North Korea around 10:40 p.m. The man is believed to be a North Korean defector in his 20s who came to the south in late 2020 after crossing the heavily guarded Demilitarized Zone. He was even rumored at one point to have pole vaulted over the barbed wire border fence. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the man appears to have crawled under the fence this time, rather than going over it, and breached the border at 6:40 p.m. local time on Saturday. The breach triggered an alarm, but this went unnoticed by South Korean troops until 9:20 p.m. when additional sensors inside the DMZ picked the man up. It was only then that troops rewatched CCTV footage from several hours before and realized what had happened. Troops were dispatched into the DMZ, a miles-wide zone between the two Koreas that is littered with mines and guarded by machine gun-wielding soldiers, to stop the man, but he crossed into North Korean territory at 10:40 p.m. A message was sent to North Korean troops shortly afterwards to warn them of the crossing and seek guarantees about the man's safety, but it has gone unanswered. There are fears the man may have been killed, after a South Korea fisheries official who accidentally crossed the border last year was shot to death by Northern Guards. Kim Jong-un later apologized for the shooting, saying troops were under strict orders to kill anyone trying to cross to prevent the spread of COVID. Earlier in 2020, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un placed a border city under total lockdown after a North Korean defector with COVID-19-like symptoms sneaked back home. The fate of that defector, who had lived in South Korea, is not known. On Saturday, North Korea announced it had decided to place top priority on strict virus restrictions at a high-profile ruling party meeting last week. The gymnast's original defection took place in November last year, when he managed to cross the fence into South Korea without triggering an alarm. When asked by military officials how he did it, the man reportedly showed them he had used his gymnastics training to vault over the barrier. He repeated the move twice to prove he wasn't lying, South Korean media reported at the time. The man was arrested in Gong-won province about 1.5 kilometers south of the border wearing blue civilian clothes, Chosun Ilbo reported. He had been wandering an area strewn with landmines and claimed to be a civilian seeking to defect. The reasons for his defection were never made clear. It is also unclear why he decided to go back to North Korea. The two Koreas are split along the world's most heavily armed border, called the Demilitarized Zone. An estimated 2 million mines are peppered inside and near the 248 kilometers, 155-mile long, 4 kilometers, 2.5-mile wide DMZ, which is also guarded by barbed wire fences, tank traps and combat troops on both sides. Defecting via the DMZ is rare. At the height of their Cold War rivalry, both Koreas sent agents and spies to each other's territory through the DMZ, but no such incidents have been reported in recent years. About 34,000 North Koreans have defected to South Korea since the late 1990s to avoid poverty or political oppression, but a vast majority of them have come via China and Southeast Asian countries. North Korea has yet to report any cases of the coronavirus while experts have questioned its claim of a perfect record.